Have you ever had that eerie moment where something clicks deep inside you, but you can't explain it? You're not sure what just shifted, but you know something did. Not because of what you saw, not because of what you heard, but because your body, your field, your being has so felt it. That's not a coincidence, that's a vibrational marker, a code unlocking in real time. But here's what they never taught you. You've been conditioned to believe that change must come with evidence. That you can only believe in transformation once something on the outside confirms it. You were trained to wait for the physical world to say, yes, now it's safe to believe. And so you learned to postpone your trust, to delay your leap, to negotiate with the unseen. But what if the real signal is your own resonance? Because the truth is this: if you're here, watching this right now, it's not random. Your quantum jump key has been activated. Not by something you did, but by something you became. You crossed into a frequency that aligns with a specific path, and the field responded. This video didn't appear. It was drawn to you, or rather, you drew it to yourself. Imagine this: a cosmic lock that doesn't open with effort. It opens when your energy matches its rhythm. There's no metal key, no secret code, only a vibration, a precise, aligned state of being that makes the mechanism respond. And right now, you're in that state. Joe Dispenza says it clearly. The quantum field responds not to what you want, but to who you are. Quantum physics confirms it through the observer effect, proving that matter collapses based on the presence and attention of consciousness. Edgar Cayce, decades ago, referred to it as the vibrational memory of the soul. When your energy, your attention, and your identity align, the field has no choice but to open. And yet, even with all this, most people miss it. They feel the activation, but dismiss it. They call it coincidence. They second-guess the pull. They wait for more signs, more clarity, more validation, and in doing so, they drift back into the old timeline. This is the tragedy of timing. The key turns, but the person hesitates. In this video, you're going to discover exactly how to recognize that moment of activation and how not to lose it. You'll understand the real signs your field is giving you, why most people sabotage their quantum leap without knowing, and most importantly, how to lock in this new vibration so that the shift becomes irreversible. This isn't just information, this is initiation. You're already in the field, and it's listening. If you feel this message calling something real inside you, subscribe to this channel now. Don't wait until later. Don't let this moment slide into the background. If this vibration found you, it's because it matched you. So stay with it, subscribe now, and walk with me through what's coming. Because now we're going to explore why you are not here by accident, and how the quantum field uses random encounters to invite you into new timelines through signs, nudges, and vibrational intersections that seem impossible until they aren't. The moment of activation. You're not here by accident. There's something mysterious about the way you arrived here. And no, not in a poetic sense, in a literal, vibrational sense. You didn't find this video, it found you. Or more precisely, you became matchable to it. The quantum field doesn't operate by chance, it operates by coherence. It delivers moments, people, content, and opportunities based on the invisible resonance you emit. That's why two people can scroll the same timeline, and only one stops. Only one feels the pulse. Only one sees the invitation hidden behind a piece of content, and that's the person whose frequency is ready. Let me give you an image. Picture a radio tower sending out thousands of signals. You're only aware of the one you're tuned into, and in the same way, the field has been broadcasting potential after potential, but you couldn't hear it until now, because your inner dial wasn't ready. But today, it clicked. You clicked play. But more than that, something inside you clicked into place. That quiet inner yes that doesn't need convincing. That inner knowing that whispers, I don't know why, but this feels like a message meant for me. And it is. But what if the most powerful truth was hiding where you never thought to look? What if the sign you've been asking for is your own readiness to receive it? Because here's the process the field follows. It doesn't test you. It tunes you. It arranges encounters that feel random, only to the part of you that still believes life is linear. The part of you that still thinks this is just another video. But the deeper self, the subtle self, knows better. You're not here to get proof. You're here to remember that being here is the proof. You don't need the universe to speak louder. You need to stop doubting the volume of what's already being said. Now pause. Really pause. Breathe. And notice, where in your body do you feel this message landing? Is it a stirring in your chest, a buzz in your skin, a quiet pressure behind your eyes? That's not emotion, that's activation. And from here, the leap begins. But before we go deeper, leave your mark in this field. Drop a single word in the comments below, just one. The word that names what you're feeling in this moment. Maybe it's remembrance, maybe it's awakening, maybe it's ready. Whatever it is, let that word become your vibrational anchor. Let's go even deeper. We'll explore the subtle signals that reveal when your quantum key has truly unlocked, and why most people ignore these signals, thinking they're just random glitches, when in truth they're gateways, signs of the key, how to recognize activation in real life. Not all awakenings feel like lightning strikes. Some arrive like whispers. Some feel like restlessness. Some feel like you're outgrowing a version of yourself, but you don't yet know what you're growing into. You might call it confusion, but the field calls it calibration. So how do you know when your quantum key has been activated? Let's begin with this. You won't know it with your mind. You'll know it by what starts to unravel and what starts to feel off. You begin to experience odd synchronicities, repeating numbers. A song that plays at the exact moment a certain thought crosses your mind. Dreams that feel more real than waking life. Déjà vu that comes not just with familiarity, but with emotion. You walk into a room you've entered 1,000 times before and suddenly it feels unfamiliar. You look at your daily routine and something feels misaligned. People you once resonated with start to sound like echoes from a different timeline. This is the first real sign. Your life starts feeling almost like it doesn't fit anymore, and you might think that means something's wrong. But what if that's the evidence you've been asking for? Because when your frequency shifts, your reality doesn't immediately change, but your perception of it does. That discomfort you feel. It's not failure, it's contrast. Your energy has started broadcasting a new signal, and the old structure around you hasn't caught up yet. Let me give you something more concrete. Imagine changing the thermostat in a room. The air doesn't shift instantly, but the system has already received the instruction. That's what's happening now. Your field has sent out a new command, and the environment is adjusting. You've seen it before, you just didn't know how to read it. Sudden changes in mood for no clear reason. An inner sense of urgency, but not about anything external. Just a quiet pull to move, change, release, redirect. And here's the most important part. These signs are not asking for analysis. They're asking for attention. You don't need to decode every sign. You just need to respond. Because the more you acknowledge them, not with overthinking, but with presence, the more the field confirms, the more it opens, the more the key continues to turn. And yet, even when all these signs are there, many people miss the leap. Why? That's exactly what we're going to explore next. We'll go deeper into the hidden saboteur, the quiet voice in your mind that convinces you to hesitate, analyze, delay. You'll learn how this internal mechanism can block your jump before it even begins, and how to bypass it with a single shift in awareness. The silent saboteur, why most people miss their quantum jump. There's a voice inside you that sounds like reason, but it's not. It's calm, logical, familiar. It says things like, let's just wait and see. Be careful, don't rush into anything. Maybe this isn't the right time. It pretends to protect you, but it's actually protecting your current identity. That voice, the one that sounds so rational, is the most powerful saboteur of your quantum leap, because the moment your frequency begins to shift, your system feels the disturbance, and the part of you that has survived by staying in control starts panicking. But what if the mind's need for safety is actually what's keeping you stuck? Let me explain. We're not talking about conscious resistance. You may want change. You may ask for alignment. You may even be doing all the right things. But underneath, if your body still associates transformation with danger, you'll unconsciously pull yourself back to the familiar. And here's how it shows up. You start to rationalize. You begin to second-guess that intuitive yes. You tell yourself you'll act once things feel more stable, not realizing the stability you're waiting for can only come after the leap. This is the cycle most people live in, waiting for the outside to feel safe before shifting the inside. But the field works in reverse. You change the inside first, and the outside aligns. Let me give you a symbol. Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff with a hidden platform below. The platform only becomes visible after you step. But the mind says, show me the floor first and I'll jump. And so you wait, and nothing happens, because the platform is frequency activated, and trust is the trigger. Here's a deeper truth. Your quantum jump is not a dramatic event. It's a quiet permission, a choice made without guarantees, a yes spoken with your nervous system, not your lips. So, how do you catch the saboteur? Pay attention to how you explain your hesitation. If your inner dialogue is full of justifications, timing, or logic, that's not clarity. That's fear in disguise. Pause now. Breathe into this. Feel the places in your body that still want certainty before action. Don't push them. Just notice. Because awareness is the beginning of transmutation, and when you choose to act from coherence, not fear, not impulse, but inner alignment, the field has to respond. It can't not. That's the law of resonance. Now we're going to uncover what actually makes the jump happen. Not hope, not want, not effort, but a frequency match. You'll understand the mechanics behind activation and how your biology and energy are already trying to sync with a new timeline. Quantum mechanics of activation. Why it's a frequency match, not a wish. You can want change with all your heart. You can dream about it, meditate on it, journal it every morning, but the field won't respond to your wish. It responds to your signal. This is where most people get stuck, confusing desire with readiness. But in the language of the quantum, wanting and becoming are not the same vibration. Wanting says, I'm not there yet. Becoming says, I've already shifted. The field doesn't give you what you hope for. It mirrors what you are, consistently, precisely, unflinchingly. Let me explain. Bruce Lipton teaches us that our thoughts generate chemical reactions in the body, and those chemicals influence our emotional state. Your emotional state, in turn, is what tunes your field. It's like being an energetic transmitter. Every emotion is a broadcast, every repetition of that emotion, a program. So when you're stuck in loops of doubt, even if you're affirming confidence, your biology is reinforcing a lower timeline. Not because you're broken, but because your chemistry hasn't caught up to your intention. That's why you don't just need to think new thoughts, you need to feel them, breathe them, live them. You need to create an internal environment where your entire being starts rehearsing the future as if it's already happening. Here's how the mechanics really work. You are a field of potential. The quantum is a sea of possibilities. When your internal frequency stabilizes into coherence, meaning your thoughts, emotions, actions, and presence are aligned, a specific timeline within that sea locks onto your vibration. And at that point, reality begins to rearrange itself to meet your new signature. But what if you've already felt this before and didn't realize it? Think of a moment when you stopped chasing and something suddenly showed up. A call, an encounter, a solution. That wasn't magic. That was your field becoming coherent enough to collapse the potential into form. Let's go deeper. The most aligned shifts happen not when you scream into the universe, but when your presence becomes so clear, so still, so whole, that the universe can't help but respond. You're not pulling the new timeline toward you, you're pulsing it, broadcasting it, and the response is inevitable. Now pause for a second. Really take this in. Because if you've made it this far into the video, it means something in you already knows. You're not here to learn, you're here to remember. So if this message is unlocking something inside you, take a breath and share your energy with us. Let us know in the comments if you've ever experienced this, a moment when you felt something align without effort. Share it. Your story might activate someone else. And if this resonates, subscribe now. Join our growing community. Don't walk this path alone. Stay close, because we're not done. Keep watching. We'll uncover one of the most powerful metaphors of quantum shift, why the key doesn't actually open a door, but instead calls the elevator to the right floor. Metaphor of the elevator. The key doesn't open a door, it calls a floor. When most people think of breakthroughs, they imagine unlocking a door. They believe there's a barrier to be removed, a portal to be opened, a wall to be broken. But in the quantum realm, there are no doors, there are floors, and frequency is what calls them. You're not here to force reality open, you're here to summon it. By becoming a match to what's already available, think of an elevator. There's no need to break into the shaft. You don't have to climb the cables. You don't need to figure out how it works. You just press the button and wait for the right floor to arrive. That button is your frequency. And here's the part no one tells you. Your quantum key doesn't open anything. It calls something. It doesn't break reality open. It tells reality, this is where I stand now. Meet me here. So many people are exhausting themselves trying to find their new life, trying to chase it, manifest it, attract it. But that effort comes from a misunderstanding that the next level is out there. It's not. It's layered on top of this one. And it becomes accessible the moment your field pulses at its level. Let me give you a modern mirror for this idea. Think of how your phone connects to Wi-Fi. The signal is already in the air. It doesn't appear when you search for it. It's always there, but unless your phone has the correct code, it can't connect. That password isn't effort, it's alignment, it's compatibility. And your field works the same way. The new timeline doesn't come because you beg for it. It comes because your field becomes the password. You're not the seeker anymore. You're the signal. So let me ask you this. What frequency are you emitting today? Is it need or neutrality? Is it pressure or presence? Is it force or flow? Pause for a moment. Don't try to answer too fast. Just feel it. Because this elevator doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you're being, consistently, silently, honestly. And the good news is, it's already on the way. Now we'll explore why this moment, this exact vibrational opening, is sacred. You'll learn how the field amplifies your signal for a short window after activation and what you can do to lock in your shift before doubt pulls you back into the old floor. Sacred window, why you must act inside the vibrational opening. Every activation has a pulse, and every pulse opens a window. Not forever, but just long enough for a shift to occur. In the quantum field, alignment creates momentum. But that momentum isn't permanent unless you seal it. You've felt this before, that sudden surge of clarity, that moment when everything aligns and you know what you're supposed to do. And then you wait, you hesitate, you overthink. And within hours, the energy is gone, the clarity fades, you start doubting again. Why does that happen? Because every vibrational breakthrough is followed by a test of coherence, not from the universe, but from your own field. The sacred window is that brief space in which your signal is strongest. It's a moment of pure receptivity, where your field is fully aligned and the timeline you're calling in is near enough to touch. But if you don't anchor that frequency, your biology reverts. Your mind reactivates the old code. The elevator door closes. Let me give you a visual. Think of striking a tuning fork. The sound rings out, clean, bright, resonant. But over time, if nothing supports the vibration, it fades. The fork goes silent again, not because it failed, but because it wasn't sustained. You are the tuning fork. When you feel that energetic yes, that sense that this is it, that's the ring, that's the activation. But to hold the note, you must stay present, stay in the new rhythm long enough for it to imprint your field. Stay long enough for your nervous system to accept the new frequency as safe. Here's a process you can try. Next time you feel that wave of knowing, don't talk yourself out of it. Don't intellectualize it. Pause, breathe, let it expand in your body. Ask yourself, what would the version of me who already lives this reality do right now? Then become that, even in a small way, even in stillness, because that action, that embodiment, is what locks in the timeline. The universe isn't waiting for you to be perfect. It's waiting for you to be real, to meet the moment as you are, with readiness, not resistance. And now, we arrive at something even more powerful. I'll share with you a real story, someone just like you, who followed that inner signal and witnessed her life transform in a matter of days. No planning, no guarantees, just alignment, courage, and presence. She wasn't looking for a miracle. She wasn't trying to manifest anything. She was just tired. Tired of forcing. Tired of trying to figure out what the next step should be. And then, one day, without warning, without context, a video showed up on her screen, much like this one. At first, she was tempted to scroll past it, but something about it stopped her. Not with excitement, but with resonance. That quiet inner hum that says, "This is for you." She didn't know it at the time, but her field had just entered an activation window. And she made a simple decision, not to understand it, not to explain it, just to follow it. She watched the video, then went for a walk, and during that walk she felt something shift. No big vision, no booming voice from the sky, just a subtle sense of certainty. And the words, "Move now." So she did. She made a call she'd been avoiding. She reached out to someone she hadn't spoken to in years. She booked a ticket without knowing why. And within 3 days, her entire external world began rearranging. A job offer, a conversation that reopened a long-closed door, a synchronicity that defied logic. And beneath all of that, a peace she hadn't felt in years, not because the external had finally changed, but because she had. She stopped asking the field to prove something. She became the proof. Let me be clear. This story isn't about speed, it's about surrender. Her life didn't shift because she had a plan. It shifted because she had a moment of courage, and she trusted it more than her fear. You may never see her story, but you'll feel it. Because if you've made it here, a similar invitation is being made to you. The field doesn't reward control, it responds to coherence. So now, let me ask you, have you ever felt something like this? A moment where you followed a signal, even when it didn't make sense and life met you in a new way? If yes, take a moment, share it in the comments. Your experience might be the activation someone else needs to trust their own. And if you haven't yet, maybe this is your moment. Maybe this is your signal. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Be part of a community that doesn't just talk about change, but lives in resonance with it. And keep watching, because we're not just passing through knowledge, we're building a new field together. If you're seeing this, your quantum jump key just unlocked. By now, you've probably realized this wasn't just a video. It was a mirror, a frequency, a signal. And the truth is, your quantum jump key was never missing. It was always in you, but something in this moment, in this now, made it turn. You didn't need to push. You didn't need to prove. You just needed to pause long enough to feel it. Because the field isn't waiting for more of your effort. It's waiting for more of your essence. The part of you that already remembers how energy works, how vibration speaks, how timelines align when you stop performing and start being. Let me leave you with this. The reality begins where your old pattern ends. You are not here by accident. You're here because your field brought you. You're here because the new frequency has already arrived, and all that's left is to walk with it. Thank you, truly, for your presence, your energy, your trust. Thank you for staying with me until this point in the journey. Thank you for choosing to explore, to feel, to remember. Thank you for walking beside me in this moment of shift. If this message touched something in you, tell me. Comment below. Let me know how this landed for you. Was there a sentence, a moment, a vibration that opened something? Write it, feel it, share it. Leave a like if this content helped you tune your frequency. And make sure to subscribe, not just to follow, but to join. This is the beginning of something deeper, and there's so much more waiting for you in the next video. Keep walking with us here on Manifest Shift. You're not alone. You're not lost. You're exactly where the signal needed you to be. See you in the next field. See you in the next frequency. See you in the next shift.